Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks very much for joining me for this week's Friday Sews video. As always, a huge thank you to Jen from Today in Jen Sewing for setting up the Friday Sews hashtag, where it gives us vloggers an opportunity to talk about what we have been sewing, what we will be sewing, and a little bit of life as well. In my case, there's also going to be a crochet and knitting element to this Friday Sews, so I'll put that at the very end. I'll put chapters, so anybody not interested in anything bar the sewing content, I'll let you know when the crochet and the knitting is starting, but thank you for tuning in. Right, I hope you all had a lovely week. We certainly did in the French Seams household. We had a very lovely Valentine's Day. Then we had littlest French Seams birthday party, which was very nice. I filmed these Friday Sews on a Thursday, and shortly after I finished filming last week, we got an email saying, oh, the boys and girls can wear something Valentine's related on Valentine's Day. This was about 3 o'clock on a Thursday. Valentine's Day was Friday, and as I mentioned last week, sewing is a superpower. So you'll remember last week I showed you my older boy's heart jumper that I made. I'll pop in a picture here. He absolutely loves it. He still wears it, which is so nice. I asked him, did he want me to remove the heart applique, and he said no, which is great. So then what do you do then late on a Thursday evening? You run upstairs to where I keep all my fabric scraps. I rifle through and try to find something suitable for baby French seams, and I managed to, I think in about an hour, cut and sew up a little jumper for him too. So this is all just leftovers, scraps, everything. Thank goodness I had a bit more of this cuffing left. And then this is just a little piece of pink fleece. Again, my heart template just came into its own last week. So I made this for him and he really enjoys it. He looks utterly adorable. So of course I had to bind the neckline. This time he got little duckies. I have a tutorial on how to do this neck binding, and I've been tagged so many times in people doing this technique on their me-made garments, and it makes me so happy to see that people are using that tutorial. Thank you so much. I'll link it below, but I love being tagged in your me-mades where you've put in the binding as well. I think it looks really cute. He of course requested the cuff thumb holes, so these are a little bit big for him. He only has little hands, but he really enjoys wearing them. This is the Waves and Wild thumbs up pattern. It's a free pattern for a little cuff with a thumb hole, which is all enclosed. Fabulous free pattern. I would highly recommend it. And then on the bottom he gets a little Made by Mummy label as well. So yeah, he looked super cute in this. So that was a very lovely Valentine's Day. All of the little things I made for Valentine's Day, so the heart pouches for my boys and the little heart envelopes for my parents, they were very gratefully received, which was lovely. That was really nice. We then had a really nice family birthday party. We had family to stay, we had family come to our house, which is always lovely. I did some baking, so baby French Seams wanted a dragon on his cake, so cut out a little dragon, did a little template, and this is the cake I came up with. It's my usual birthday cake. I make it all the time for every single celebration. It's a Mary Berry chocolate cake recipe, and it is gorgeous and it works every single time. I'll link it in the description box below. It's a fabulous recipe, and instead of putting little chocolate fingers all there around the outside like I usually do, because it's coming up to Easter, I got little Malteser and Kit Kat bunnies, chocolate bunnies, to stick all around the outside, which was super cute. And I made portioning it out very easy. I simply said, who wants one bunny, who wants two bunnies? So that cake was really nice. I also found on Instagram a little picture, and it was how to turn, we call them buns or fairy cakes or cupcakes, whatever you want to call them, into a little sheep, which I thought was really cute, because I made kind of bat theme ones for my older boy's birthday because his birthday is near Halloween. I thought these little sheep for spring would be really cute for baby French Seams. So my poor dad, I put him to work separating out a bag of mini marshmallows. He had to separate the white ones from the pink ones because could I find a bag of just white mini marshmallows? No. So we then made that those cupcakes and put on the little marshmallows, just stuck on with some water icing, just water and icing sugar, and then used a little Oreo for the face, and I have little candy eyes. So yeah, they came out really well, and they of course went down a treat as well. So that was the birthday party. This is not a cookery channel, I assure you, but I know some people did actually ask. So that was our weekend. It was very nice. I didn't get any sewing over the weekend, but I did get some knitting because it's perfect when you have people over. You can just sit on the couch and knit. So what did I get done this week? So you might see what I'm wearing. This is my newest sweatshirt, and it is the Remy sweatshirt, and it's by Petite Stitchery, and I was very taken by this. It's quite similar as well to the Fibre Mood Soroya, but I just saw this. I made a Petite Stitchery pattern before. I knew I liked them, so I wanted this one. The fabric is really cool, speckled neon French terry, and this is from Rainbow Fabrics. I think it's really cool, and this is what I got made up this week. What do you think? Let me know. I'm still I do really like it. I'm still a little bit on the fence, but I definitely will wear it. It's super comfy, super cozy, and I think I really like the style. It's just a little bit of a different style for me. So it comes as a ruched here. It also comes as a ruched bottom, which looks a bit like the Mile End, the closet cord, but it's got a much longer tail. So I chose this one. It's got cuffs, slightly balloon sleeves, and I did the roll neck, so I've got it turned inwards, which I like doing. You can also do a crew neck. So this is what it looks like. This is it. Am I wearing my Megan Nielsen Ash jeans? Yes, of course. So this is what it looks like. It's got this lovely ruched detail all the way up one side. It's quite oversized, quite boxy. Then I finished it off with a little label. Mistakes were made, solutions were found. And then it's got a little kind of split here, which is really cute. So let me tell you more about this. The instructions and everything on this are absolutely great. I really enjoyed making it. The only thing I'm dubious about is the sizing. So it's quite oversized. So I made a petite stitchery pattern just for Christmas. I did a collaboration with the lovely Becky from Notes from a Sewing Room. We made the Zoe sweatshirt. Made another one as well. I made a pink one. So I made a size medium, grading to a size large, didn't have to alter the bodice, didn't have to alter the sleeve length, and I thought it fit me really well. So for this, my measurements fall into a medium for the bust and then a hips of a large, and I figured I don't need a large for this has got quite a lot of ease. So I said, right, let's just go with the medium. Even cutting out the pattern pieces, I was looking at them going, right, okay, we'll see how we go. Sewing up, always in the back of your mind going, this is going to be really oversized. But in the end, I don't actually mind it. I think I'm just going to embrace the oversized nature. Even if I size down to about an extra small, the difference is only going to be minimal. It really is. So maybe I'm just going to embrace the style. It's lovely and drapey fabric. Yeah, I think it's just the way it is, really. I really like this detail. It's done in a very clever way. Basically, the front comes in two pieces and then you fold the seam allowance in to make these channels, which are very nice. And these were quite fun to make as well, little ties. The only difference I made was on the cuffs, I was humming and hawing about the length of the sleeves. I only used 1/4 inch seam allowance. I just had to make them ever so slightly longer, but they're pretty good, to be fair. I love not having to alter things. And I've never understood why you have to use a gathering stitch on jersey. Jersey stretches, and I know you're using self fabric for the cuff, maybe that's why, but I hate gathering on jersey. I really do. It's so tricky and it never comes out well. But anyway, it went in fine. One thing I did with the cuffs is I cut them on the cross grain because that gave a better stretch. There's not a huge amount of stretch in French terry at all. So that's what I did to fix that. Similarly on this, it's quite tight, so the pattern piece went nowhere over my head. So it's actually got two seams at the back because I had to put in a little bit extra fabric at the back to make it fit. One nice thing about this colour fabric is when I take it off, you can't see the makeup stains. So yeah, I just had to cut that much bigger. So basically I assembled everything and then measured the neckline and then cut this piece to fit, and I think it looks quite nice. I don't want it too oversized. You can of course wear it nice and slouchy as well like this, but I quite like the neat tuck in like this. I think it looks really pretty as a kind of a funnel neck when it's still howling a gale outside. So they were the few differences I made. The other difference I made was I overlocked all the edges. It doesn't tell you to finish any of your edges. I know it's jersey, it's not going to fray, but I still prefer the look. So all of my edges there are overlocked, and I think it's especially important when you do this little split to have those neatly finished there. To turn under, I think just gives a much neater finish. So as you can see, mistakes were made, solutions were found. This lovely cozy club, a little thread, cozy club handmade label, but I thought, let's put a positive spin on this. Let's put the solutions were found on the outside instead. Let's hide our mistakes. So from a fabric recommendation, it does say French terry. It does say for my size, I think you needed 2.3 meters of fabric, but I had 2 meters of fabric from Rainbow Fabrics. I think it is quite wide, but I definitely didn't need 2.3. I really didn't, even though I had to add in stuff to the funnel neck. And also, one thing I did add was I added 1 inch to the bodice length, and 2 inches to the bodice length, and I'm very happy I did that, because I wanted it to be quite short here but then still long enough at the back, and so I'm very happy with that. So, and I did actually cut this panel incorrect the first time. I didn't add the 2 inches, so even with the recutting I did have plenty of fabric. So just bear that in mind when you do need to cut out yours. Possibly lay out your pattern pieces, see how much fabric you need before you end up buying 2.5 or 3 meters, whatever it is. So I do like it. I think it's just different, kind of very oversized style on me, but I think it's definitely lovely for kind of slouching. I think I'll probably wear it with my Stella joggers, which I showed you last week, which I was a bit on the fence as well. I've worn them 4 days out of 7 since I last talked to you, so I really, really like them. And even my husband said this morning, he's like, this jogger is actually really, really nice. So you probably expect more Stella joggers coming your way very, very soon. But it is very, very nice. I think the fabric is really cool with these little neon speckles. I think it's really, really nice. You can't really see it from afar, but I think up close it gives a really, really nice detail. So, and this ruching gives a little bit of an extra element as well. So that was my little bit of sewing, well, garment sewing this week, I should say. I did make a few more things and they're on the floor, so let's get them. Whenever I'm preparing for these vlogs, I have everything in piles, everything neatly organised. Obviously something keeps falling on the floor. So anyway, one little tiny extra sewing make I got done this week. So for younger French Seam's birthday, we got very kindly given a game of Go Fish, which I had definitely heard of. Hadn't a clue how to play. So now we're all experts, by the way. So it's a really, really fun game. But my 2 little boys, they're still quite small, they're 6 and 4 now, and they were struggling to hold the cards in their hands. So they had them kind of laid out and everything, and older French Seams had them kind of on the couch and run over and try to play and everything. So it wasn't really working out. And in the back of my mind, I remembered somewhere somebody showing a card holder sewing pattern. Was it Catherine Soberton Makery, or maybe it was Kath Craft or Ruan Yorkshire? So it was some of you. I'll give credit to anybody who showed it. But I think at the time we weren't at that stage of playing card games. But in the back of my mind, something went off and said, right, okay, I think we need the sewing pattern now. So I popped on, and I think this is a Passions for Pirates free pattern, and it's worked out so beautifully. Basically, it's a little card holder. And remember last week when I showed you those fat quarters with fish, thinking, oh, I'm not quite sure what I'll use them for. I've now got fish card holders for our game of Go Fish. The irony is not lost on me. So these are fabulous. So it's double-sided. I put in these huge buttons, which are really, really cool. I used up the fat quarters, and basically they're 2 CDs with a little bit of fusible fleece inside, and then just gathered and then sewn together using the button, and they work out like this. So these are these are different pack playing cards. But how perfect is this? So little hands can hold these. I think it is just brilliant. Even in a game where you've got lots of cards, I think adults need these. I think they're wonderful. So baby French Seams, older French Seams, each has one with different coloured buttons. And they're just absolutely brilliant. They're so quick and easy to make. They are just brilliant. But I was laughing when I showed them to them. They were very, very happy, and we've been using them now over the past few days. And I said, yeah, they're really cool, aren't they? They've got CDs in them. And both of them looked at me and went, what's a CD? Anyway. That's a story for another day. Yes, so that's that generation anyway. So yes, highly recommend these. I'll link it below, a little free pattern. Really, really good for all you card sharks out there. So that was my little sewing this week. So what are my sewing plans for the coming week? So in my vlog last week, I mentioned that I had this beautiful green viscose linen. It's now beautifully washed and everything. Not ironed, but washed. And I really wanted to make this up into a dress. And I said, should I make the Fabric Godmother fleur dress or the Fabric Godmother aspen dress? I don't think anybody said the fleur dress. I don't think there was one person who said the fleur dress. Every single person said the aspen dress. So I think I'll make the aspen dress. And I've seen some beautiful versions online of the aspen dress so far. So this is going to be an aspen dress. So maybe get that done this week. I'm very, very keen on that. I think it's a really, really nice pattern. The other thing I would like to get made up this week is the Dia sweatshirt by Mezuzah Patterns, in this beautiful blue French terry, and then I've got nice matching-ish ribbing for it, and I was going to make the little diamond aspect out of these fabulous glitter fabrics that I got from Crafty Studio, so I think these will look really, really cute. So yes, very, very looking forward to getting started on those 2 patterns this week. As a little reminder on this fabric, this is from Rainbow Fabrics, and I'm a Rainbow Fabrics brand ambassador. So if you would like this or any other fabric on their website, be sure to use the code Rachel_VIP, and that'll give you 20% off. And as a brand ambassador, I do get a small commission on the basis of that. So thank you very, very much. So that is all my sewing updates for the week. So if you're not at all interested in crochet or knitting, you can just head off right now. And thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll be sure to catch you next week. But if you are interested in crochet and knitting, then stick around. Right, I think all the sewing people have gone. I'm sure they have. So a little update. So I had put out about that I wanted to start knitting. I wanted to start knitting socks, all that good stuff. And wow, a lot of you are knitters. A lot of you are excellent knitter. So thank you very, very much for all your kind words, all your words of advice, your words of experience. Absolutely fabulous. So I was rooting through the little bits and pieces I have here for knitting. I have a few little random balls of wool, a few little needles, that kind of stuff. And I came across a crochet project that I had completely forgotten about, that I think I did last year, early last year, maybe even the year before. It was when I was going through my granny square era, if you cast your mind back, if the long-standing, long-suffering followers remember my granny square era. So I made all these granny squares in this really, really pretty spring fabric. And I sewed them all together, made a little cardigan, and I was like, what will I do with it? So I dug it out, and you know I don't like having things lying around unfinished. So I finished it off and made it into a little cardigan. So my littlest boy wore this last night and pretended he was a superhero. It was adorable. But this is going to be a little summer cardigan, maybe even just around the house. Not sure will I wear it outside, but I just wanted to finish it off. So I had sewn all these together. I just had to weave in all the ends, which took ages. But what I did then was I did a little scallop trim all around the edge. So you can see here all around the edge, and then I just finished off the arms as well with a little scallop, which is just really pretty. So I'm not a crochet expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I know it's now finished. All the ends are weaved in, and I think it looks really, really cute. And just with a little maybe white cami or something during the summer, I think would be really cute. Just maybe as a kind of house coat or something. Have I got this the right way around? I do. But I think it's just really cute, and this is now another finished project. So I'm delighted. So that was my little crochet, finishing that off. I haven't really gone back into crochet recently. I'm sure I will. On the knitting front, I really wanted to make the Winwick Mum 4-ply socks based on huge recommendations from you lovely people, and I didn't have the right size needles. So I have a couple of knitting needles, and I asked my mum to bring up a few of her knitting needles and stuff, but there was nothing really suitable. So I sent off to Vibes and Scribes to get the ones I needed. While I was waiting, I decided to make a new hat. So I showed you last week that I had made the antler. I think you pronounce it toque, so thank you for correcting me, everybody. Thank you very, very much. It's a Tin Can Knits free project on Ravelry. I'll link it below. Really nice, quite beginner friendly for my beginner needs. So I have made 2 of them already about 7 years ago. So I said, right, why not make another one? And I got this beautiful pink wool from Aldi recently. So I decided to make another hat, and it came out rather well. The pom-pom, I have a pom-pom maker, a clover maker. So when I was in school, we used 2 bits of cardboard with a hole cut in it, which was an absolute pain. So there's been advancements in pom-pom technology since I was in school, and these are the clover makers. I'll pop in a picture of them here. They are just brilliant. They make making pom-poms so easy and so fun and so quick. My little boys helped me with this, so I made a little pom-pom, and then I finished off my little hat. Then I have a little button. It says handmade with love, which I think is adorable. This hasn't been blocked or anything. The one thing I did change was that I made it slightly shorter, because I think they want you to pull it up like this. I prefer it just down like this, straight, like a kind of beanie, but I'm very, very happy with it. And all my little antlers, I had to pretty much rip this entire thing out about 3 times because I kept getting things wrong and I didn't check often enough, and I had antlers going this way and that way and crossways, and it just would have annoyed me so much. So I have ripped this out quite a few times, but I'm very, very happy with it, how it came out, and I love the kind of stripes, and they're really cool. So while I was waiting for my new knitting needles, I whipped this up, and I'm very, very happy. And I put out on Instagram as well, should I make a matching snood? And everybody said yes. So I am now I'm actually going to use this pattern, but just make it straight across and just make a little kind of little pullovers cowl thing. I think to match would look very, very cute. So watch this space. That's my little hat. That in a week I think is pretty good going, having to Google everything because I've forgotten how to knit entirely. Then onto my socks in my lovely repurposed Studio 77 knitting bag it now is. Now, please don't laugh. Bear in mind, I'm not a great knitter. I'm an enthusiastic knitter, not a great knitter. And this is my first pair of socks, and hand on heart, I haven't a clue what I'm doing, but I'm having fun doing it. So here is my sock so far. Again, please don't laugh, but it looks vaguely like a sock. It does, and it's all tangled up. Sorry now. There we go. So this is how I've got on so far. So it vaguely looks like a sock. So it's a cuff down. Look at me. So I've got my cuff up here, a bit wibbly wobbly. Then I've got the leg bit of a sock, and then I vaguely managed to do a little heel, and then now I am turning the heel, which is probably the most terrifying thing I've done in my life. So one side is not horrible, the other side is absolutely horrible, but then I realized what I had done wrong. So the side that's really horrible has then got very good at the end because I realized what I was doing wrong. Basically, I was slipping the wrong stitch. So I've got my little circular needles, as one lovely commenter said. My lovely friend Cindy thinks she said it's like fairy knitting, which is like the size of little knitting needles. I tried the magic loop with the thing sticking at the end, didn't like it, and I think this little dinky thing is adorable. I've also got double pointed needles as well, but as a kind of a vaguely looking, that way, it will look that way, it's a kind of a sock. I know I've made a huge mistake, that is just awful, but I'm just going to plow on because I want to get to the end of this pattern and at least do it once to see how I go, and then I'm literally going to rip back the whole thing and start again. So I've got the written instructions printed out, but then she does have a sock along online which goes into a little bit more detail, but there's not a huge amount of pictures. I think most of you did mention that you need to have a certain level of knitting to do this. I clearly don't have that level of knitting right now, but I'm very quickly upskilling, but I'm really enjoying it. I think it's really good fun. I've learned a load, an absolute load, and I'm just having fun doing it. So this won't be the final finished garment by any stretch of the imagination. I'll rip this all back once I've figured out what I'm doing wrong, and I'll keep going and I'll see how I go, and then I'll rip it back and hopefully make 2 of them, because the wool is really, really nice. It's coming out really nicely, actually. I think it's really nice. It wouldn't be the coziest fabric. It's a little tiny bit scratchy. It is. It's 25/75 wool and polyester, I think, but I think it's really cool, the stripes. And thank you so much to everybody for their recommendations and your ongoing knitting support. So watch this space, see how I got on next week. So that is my knitting and crochet update. I've spoken to you about my sewing plans. For my knitting plans, that's going to be a plan for this week. So aside from that, that was my week. I hope you all had a lovely, lovely week as well. If you liked this video, I would very much love it if you give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. What I should have mentioned in the sewing bit as well was I did put up the poll on my community tab about what I will do for my 7k subscribers, and by far and away the consensus was to do a combination of sewing makes, favourite makes, sewing ups and downs, and a Q&A. So I think I'll do a whole conglomeration of all that and have something out to you very, very soon. So thank you to everybody who voted, and thank you for your lovely congratulations comments. So as always, thank you very, very much for sticking with me for this vlog. If you have any questions or any comments on anything I've mentioned, please leave me a comment in the comment box below. I love responding to all of you, and thank you for taking the time to watch my vlog and for commenting as well. I hope you all have a lovely week. I hope you have some time for some lovely, lovely sewing or knitting or crochet, whatever you're into, and I will come back to you very, very soon with another vlog. Take care, everyone. Bye.